Hey guys, Paulo here from congachops.com. I just want to give you a brief rundown of your new LP Cajon. So let's talk a little bit about the history of the Cajon, getting to know your drum, and get you started playing your first groove. So first off, it's important to note that the type of Cajon that we play seated like this one was born in the port cities of Peru. In the 18th century, drums across the region were banned because they were seen as a threat by those in power. However, port cities such as Lima saw an abundance of crates, drawers, and other wooden objects used as instruments that could easily be hidden in plain sight. These instruments would then go on to form an intricate part of the percussive heartbeat of Afro-Peruvian rhythms such as the festejo and the landó. Much later on in the 1970s, Spanish flamenco guitarist Paco de Lucia and Brazilian percussionist Rubem Dantas would be introduced to the cajon while on tour in Peru, where composer and master cajonero Caitro Soto gifted them a cajon to take back to Spain. There, it was quickly assimilated into the flamenco genre and adapted with the addition of internal strings to give the instrument a wider range of colors and frequencies, which brings us to many of the string cajons that are commonly seen today. However, the cajons that are still used to this day in Afro-Peruvian music are most often those of the non-string variety. So, now that we have a very brief history on the origin of the cajon, let's get to it. So when we sit on the cajon, although we'll have to lean forward to get certain sounds out of the drum, we want to make sure that we maintain a slight curve in our back and tilt the drum towards us off the ground to allow us to play in the most ergonomic way possible. The cajon I have here is an LP Kevin Ricard model drum with tunable strings. By using these knobs on the top of the drum, I can adjust the tension of the strings. The tighter they are against the front plate, the drier the sound I'll get when playing. Now if I loosen them, the strings inside will be able to vibrate a bit more, bringing out more of that snare-like buzz sound from the different tones we'll play. As we mentioned before, not every cajon will have strings, nor will they always be adjustable. But it's good to keep in mind that these options do exist when we're looking for a bit more versatility in terms of the different sounds that we can get out of the drum. So let's move on to working on our first groove. This is a simple pattern that you can use in a pop, funk, rock, or R&B setting that emulates something that you could play on a drum set. And it'll only use a couple of the different sounds that we can get out of the drum. The bass tone, an accented tone with our fingers near the edge, and a ghost tone with our fingers near the edge. Now to play the bass tone, we'll want to strike the drum with the full surface area of our palms. And feel free to play around with how far down you want to strike the drum to get the sound you're looking for. Now each cajon will have its sweet spot in terms of the bass tone, and each player will approach how they strike in their own way. But the sound we're looking to get for the groove we're about to learn is a round, resonant tone that resembles a kick drum. The next tone we'll check out is an accented tone near the top edge of the cajon. Now some folks will play this sound using just a finger or two, and others will play an accent much like a slap on a conga. So it's totally up to you how you choose to play it, depending on the sound you're looking to get. For the purposes of the groove we're about to learn, we want to strike near the edge of the front plate using the majority of the surface area of our fingers to get a nice dry sound. The last tone we'll use is a ghost tone, and this tone can generally refer to playing any sound on the cajon at a softer volume. So for this groove, we'll play it in relatively the same place as our accented tones near the edge, but striving for a softer, less resonant sound that we'll mainly use to help us keep time. So let's play 4 accented tones followed by 4 ghost tones so you can hear the difference. Now it's time to put these 3 tones together to play our first groove. And we'll be emulating a pattern that could be played on a drum set in a pop, funk, or R&B setting. Now we can think of our ghost tones as the hi-hat, the accented tones as the snare, and our bass tones as the kick. And since I'm right-handed, I'll be starting the pattern with my right hand. So if you're left-handed, feel free to start with your left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's work on that one more time up to speed over one of the exclusive practice loops included with the congachops.com membership. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you have it, a few simple tips and a super useful rhythm to get you started playing Cajon. So find some of your favorite funk, pop, and R&B tracks to play along to and work on locking into the groove.